Okay, I just got back from the theater. I went to see Sherlock Holmes: A Game of Shadows, which I really liked the first movie, so I was excited to see this one. I had the same experience watching this movie that I've had watching most of the James Bond movies. It's fun to watch, but through most of this movie, I had like just the bare minimum sense of what in the hell was going on, what the plot was. I did enjoy the movie, but I enjoyed it because it had some cool action scenes in it, and because Robert Downey Jr. and Jude Law still have great chemistry together on screen. This movie plot is so convoluted and nearly incoherent and way too fragmented. And what I mean by fragmented is, okay, the movie starts with Professor Moriarty, who is Sherlock Holmes' arch nemesis in the original novels. Moriarty is putting bombs all over Europe, blowing stuff up, and Europe is pretty much about to go to war with itself. And Sherlock and Watson have to stop Moriarty's plans and figure out what his grand scheme is. The movie starts, Sherlock Holmes stops one of Moriarty's bombs. After that, Sherlock goes to visit a gypsy. After that, Sherlock is on a train. After that, they're in Paris, and I just saw the movie and I don't even remember what they were doing in Paris. There's nothing to connect one scene to another. It's like, at the end of a scene ends, one of the characters shouts, "We have to go here." And then they just get up and leave, and I'm sitting there wondering, why? Why are they going to Paris? What are they going in Switzerland? What do they need with the gypsies? What's going on? The movie just jumps from one scene to the next. There's no transition. The characters just up and start doing something else. There's barely any connection from one scene to the next. Oh, they try to make a connection. Like, every now and then there's a few points in the film where Sherlock stops and says, "Okay, here's going on, and here's what's going on." And then he does an exposition dump. Okay, if you have to stop the movie dead and explain to the audience what's going on, you have failed as a storyteller! And that's really all there is to say about the movie. Stuff happens. Sherlock and Watson run around figuring out piece by piece sort of what Moriarty's plan is. And at the end of the movie, you have a general idea what Moriarty's plan was, but you don't get any insight into Moriarty's motivations. You don't get any insight. You don't know why he killed certain people aside from a very general idea. And Moriarty is barely in the movie. He really only shows up towards the end of the film. It's just, Moriarty is supposed to be Sherlock Holmes' rival, and the two don't interact. They don't have a rivalry. It's like Moriarty did all of his evil schemes and stuff off screen, and now Sherlock Holmes is picking up the pieces. It's like the movie's villain just does not have a very strong presence, and that's never a good thing. So Moriarty was barely in the movie. They bring back Rachel McAdams' character from the first movie, but she has nothing to do with the story. They introduce a new female character who's a gypsy. She's just used as a plot device, and they really go nowhere with her character. They bring in Mycroft Holmes, who's Sherlock's brother. He's played by Stephen Fry. He does nothing in the movie. It's like they brought in all these new characters, and none of them do jack crap. Trying to review this movie was a bad idea because there are only so many ways that I can say that this movie's plot makes no sense. The characters just run around doing random things with not much connection between scenes, and the story makes no sense. Most of the characters in the movie are superfluous, and the movie makes no sense. That's really all. That's all my complaints, just summed up right there. I did enjoy parts of the movie, though. There's this one part of the scene in the movie, this sort of running gun battle, and with huge artillery guns and Sherlock and the other characters running through the forest. You've probably seen it in the trailers. They use slow motion in that scene, and they use it so well, in a way I've never seen it used before. That action scene kicks a lot of ass. That was a good scene. The best part of the movie is towards the end. Actually, strike that. The best part of the movie is the new extended trailer for The Dark Knight Rises that played before the movie started. That was epic. The second best part of the movie is towards the end. Towards the end of the movie, Sherlock and Moriarty finally have a confrontation. They sit down, kind of have a back and forth with each other over who's going to win. There's this cool little mystery plot set up that's really suspenseful, that's really clever. The last 15 to 20 minutes of the movie are great, and it's like, the rest of the movie should have been structured like that. The first movie was structured like that. It's like, the last 20 to 15 minutes of the movie is what the rest of the movie should have been. Although, as much as I liked the last chunk of the movie, this movie does what I think no thriller or mystery film should do. It suffers from what I like to call Ocean's 12 syndrome, where it turns out the character did something off-screen that was never shown or hinted at, and surprise, it turns out the main characters win. It's just, I hate it when movies cop out like that. Trying to review this movie without any kind of script was a bad idea. Sherlock Holmes 2, decent action movie, lousy mystery plot. I would only recommend rushing out to see it in the theater if you absolutely need to see the new Dark Knight Rises trailer. Otherwise, you can really wait on DVD. I was not impressed by this movie at all. It's fun to watch, but it has no substance, and that's really all I can say about it.